So I wonder if Steve Bannon is second-guessing his decision to accept that pardon from Donald Trump. Because it looks like justice might be coming for Steve Bannon. And justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So there's a delicious story that just got reported. Remember a little over a month ago when Donald Trump pardoned his criminal associate, Steve Bannon? Remember Bannon was being prosecuted by the Department of Justice, specifically the federal prosecutors at the Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney's Office for his, running this fraudulent nonprofit, the We Build a Wall Foundation, where Bannon and his criminal associates were basically stealing from Donald Trump's supporters, saying they were going to use the money to build a wall on the southern border when, in fact, they were just enriching themselves. And remember, after he got pardoned by his man, Donald Trump, Bannon was preening around like an unkempt peacock. He thought he was all good. But what did we just learn? Well, here's the headline from the New York Daily News. Bannon records subpoenaed by Manhattan DA in apparent bid to prosecute Trump-pardoned crimes. And here's how that story begins. Manhattan District Attorney Vance recently subpoenaed financial records relating to a fraudulent build-the-wall scam allegedly orchestrated by Steve Bannon, signaling the New York prosecutor is looking to go after the right-wing strategist for crimes pardoned by former President Donald Trump. Or as this Forbes headline sort of succinctly begins, pardon? What pardon? So here's the thing about a decision to accept a presidential pardon. It can be a lot like one too many shots of tequila. Might feel good in the moment, but you're going to regret it later. Why do I say that? Well, first of all, when a guy like Steve Bannon commits federal financial crimes, right, basically running a fraudulent nonprofit, stealing from donors, you know what he is not doing? He is not taking that money that he steals from donors and reporting it out on his federal income taxes as income, right? So he's committing a whole bunch of federal crimes, including federal tax fraud. Well, when you're running that kind of a scam, you're not only failing to report that stolen money on your federal income tax forms, you're also failing to report it on your state income tax forms. So that's just one of the state financial crimes, and there are others, that Steve Bannon would have been committing while he was running this fraudulent nonprofit. Now, what are the implications to Steve Bannon of his decision to accept a pardon from Donald Trump? Let's see what the Supreme Court has to say about it. Because in 1915, in a case called George Burdick versus the United States, the Supreme Court told us what the consequences are of a person deciding to accept a presidential pardon. The Supreme Court said that a pardon carries with it an imputation of guilt, and accepting a pardon is a confession of guilt. So it looks like by Steve Bannon deciding to accept the presidential pardon, by application of Supreme Court precedent, he confessed to the crimes. So it looks like justice might be coming for Steve Bannon after all. And justice matters. Happy hunting, Vance. And folks, you might have heard me mention this before, but we have drafted a letter. And when I say we, it's Team Justice. We are a grassroots organization. We've drafted a letter to all 50 state attorneys general, urging them to open investigations into avoidable, preventable coronavirus deaths. If you'd like to become a signatory to that letter, there are a couple of places you can find the letter. One is on Twitter. It is my pinned tweet right at the top of my timeline. You can read the letter, and there is a link there where you can go and sign if you want to be a signatory, if you want to urge your state attorney general to look into these preventable coronavirus deaths that are the responsibility of Donald Trump and company for the way they badly mismanaged the pandemic. You can also go over to patreon.com. That's where Team Justice meets, and you can find the letter there and a link to sign the letter if you are moved to sign the letter. Signing it is really easy. You go to the link, it takes 60 seconds. We simply ask your name, your state of residence, your zip code, and an email address. No other information, and we don't share that information with anybody. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to close out that letter, and we're going to send it out to all 50 state attorneys general. We're also going to forward it to all governors. We're also going to be sending it to federal elected officials so they know that this is an effort we're undertaking to try to convince all 50 states to open investigations into preventable coronavirus deaths. So please find the letter on Twitter, on Patreon. I will also put it in the description of today's video. And if you agree with the sentiments expressed in that letter, please sign up because there's power in numbers. So as always, folks, thank you for tuning in to these daily videos. Please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.